Hello there, my name is Fernando and I'm a Thinking Into Results Facilitator with Bob Proctor, who you may know from the movie The Secret. Today I'm going to share with you a concept called the Stickperson, a concept that I came to learn about approximately 10 years ago, and a concept that has changed my life in terms of the results that I've produced in my career and the relationships that I've built. It has helped companies that Bob has worked with increase their revenues in the hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the concept when you first look at it may seem a little bit simple. Some people think it's very simplistic, but I promise you that if you get a good grasp of what it does and what it means, it can literally change your life and your results in your business as well, like it has for many other people. Back in 1934, Dr. Thurman Fleet was involved in the healing arts, and he said if we're going to heal the whole body, we need to understand our mind. The problem was that we didn't have an image of the mind to work with. And as human beings, we tend to think in pictures. If I were to ask you to picture your home, immediately an image of your home snaps on the screen of your mind. If I asked you to picture your car, same thing would happen. Many of us today use mobile phones. I use an iPhone, you might use a Samsung or some other device. But if you use an iPhone and I ask you to think about your phone, surely immediately an image of all the apps that are programmed on the front of your screen there will come to mind. You might even recall the 4 apps that are saved at the bottom of your screen, and even the backdrop in terms of the wallpaper that you may have saved. Your mind goes to your iPhone and you can see the image immediately because we're thinking pictures. When I ask you to think of your mind, what comes up? For most people, it's typically an image of their brain. But the mind is no more your brain than it is your fingertips and it is your nails. Because mind is movement and our body is a manifestation of that movement. So Dr. Thurman Fleet said if we're going to understand the mind, we need an image to work with. So he said he would give us one. And he said, let that big circle there represent your mind. Let that smaller circle represent your body. Now, if you notice in this image here, the body is actually the smaller part of our being, just like an iceberg. We normally see the tip. Because what we are is spiritual beings. We have an intellect and we live in a physical body. Okay? We never want to get that back to front, even though what we see is the body. Dr. Fleet said, let the top part of the circle be your conscious mind, and the top and the bottom part your subconscious mind. Okay? Here we have the body, which is the vehicle we use to produce the results. Our conscious mind is our thinking mind. Okay? That's where we have the ability to think. And the way that we absorb information, we process information, is through little antennae, like structures, 5 of them, called our 5 senses. They act as data entry ports into our body to absorb information from our environment to process. And of course these are touch, taste, see, smell and hear. So information comes into our conscious mind from our environment through our senses. Now, because our thinking mind is also our reasoning mind, we have the ability to accept any idea that comes here and reject that idea. Okay? Our subconscious mind works a little bit different. Our subconscious mind is our feeling mind. It's our emotional mind. Okay? This is where our habits are stored. Okay? Our self-image resides here. What is our self-image? Our self-image is the image that we have of ourselves, of who we are. And you know, every result that we produce through our body action is a direct result of our self-image. Okay? So you see, we are actually always really thinking into our results, because what we allow ourselves to come into our mind and get emotionally attached to or involved with is always going to produce their results. People can tell you sometimes, you know, I know this and I know that and I know how to do a certain task, but the results are not there. And I always remember Bob saying, who you are speaks louder than what you say. So we can try and rationalize how much we know. Knowledge sits in our conscious mind. Okay? And there are a lot of educated people in the world today who are unfortunately not producing the results that they want. Now, is it a reflection of their potential? Absolutely not, okay? It is only a reflection of their self-image. Knowledge that sits in our conscious mind, unless it is internalized into our subconscious, when an idea from here becomes an ideal in our subconscious mind. And I like the word ideal because an ideal is nothing more than an idea that we have fallen in love with. As we do that, our body goes into a vibration that causes us to take the consistent action to produce that result. Okay? So as you can see, we are always thinking into results. That result can be positive, that result can be negative. It really has to do with what is programmed into our subconscious mind. Our conditioning, a multitude of habits is forms our conditioning, and of course this is also our paradigms, which is how we process the world. Now, if we want real power in producing results in our business, in our life, we need to go inward, okay? We need to stop processing information from our environment. That's what I call thinking in reverse. Now, to go inward, you need to understand the faculties of our mind. This is something that many people have never looked at until now. There are in fact 6 faculties of our mind, and I like to use the acronym I refuse to be a wimp. IRWIMP, which makes it very easy to remember. And they stand for imagination, reason, will, intuition, memory, and perception or point of view. Now, whilst we don't have time to go into all of these right now, in our Thinking into Results program, if you choose to engage with it, we go into all of these in great detail. And as you begin to understand one by one, you start to see the power that resides in each one of your people to produce the results you want them to have. No longer will they just have knowledge. You've trained them well, they understand product, they understand process, but they're not producing results. The key lies in here, understanding our mental faculties, understanding their self-image, and how to get emotionally involved with the goal that actually inspires them to take the action they need to produce the results. Most people get involved with goals that are meaningless, goals that after a short period of time they lose interest in. So in our Thinking into Results program, we start off by setting a worthy ideal, a goal that you want to get out of bed to go and achieve, a goal that you're thinking about every moment of the day, a goal that is the last thing that you think about before you go to bed, a goal that is so exciting that you would push through whatever it takes to achieve those results. And we cover all these steps, including how to trample the terror barrier, which is where most people get stopped, causing them to come back to their comfort zones, which again we cover in the program. But for now, I just want to focus on a couple of these. You may hear people say, I have a very bad memory. I don't remember names well, I don't remember people, I don't remember things. You know, the truth is we don't have a bad memory, we just have a weak memory. These are like mental muscles. Now let me illustrate it this way. If I were to take this hand and put it on a sling against my chest like this, after a period of time, the muscles will become weak and I'll start to lose definition here and the muscles will get thinner. If at the same time I'm working up my other hand every day, my muscles are going to get stronger. Our mental muscles are no different. It takes work to develop them, but we first must understand these muscles. There are people that have committed the whole Bible to memory. There are people that can meet 1,000 people in one evening and name every single person in a matter of minutes, because it is a skill. Okay, the one I really want to focus on is perception today. Perception, or our point of view, is in my opinion one of the most important mental faculties, because it gives us the map of the world. It gives us the opportunity to look at things like a limitation or an invitation. Let me put it this way. You give 2 people a camera, you send them to a party and you catch up with them afterwards. One of them will show you pictures of people crying, people fighting, people having not such a good time. And then you look at the other person's photos and you see people laughing, people smiling, people dancing, people having a great time. Interesting to note, same party, same instrument, different results. And the only difference is what each individual chose to focus on. One thing that I found really exciting and interesting as I became exposed to this material over the years with Bob Proctor is the distinction that we don't actually see with our eyes. We see through our eyes, and we see based on our self-image and our paradigms. So our map of the world is based on here. If we want to change the way we look at the world and the way and the results that we are producing, we need to start by changing our self-image. You often hear people come to work in the morning and say, I don't feel so well. Well, what they're really telling you is that they are consciously aware they are in a negative state of vibration. Of course, they're not going to tell you that. All they know is the result that they're producing because they don't understand all these different mental faculties. So we don't have a great deal of time to cover much more. Suffice to say that this is one of the most powerful tools. In fact, we call it a secret genie. And like I said at the beginning, there are companies that have increased their results, their sales, their advocacy, their engagement with the people and the staff substantially by understanding this model. Because you see, the key is that the more we understand ourselves, the more we're going to understand everyone around us. And then we can really take control and improve our results. I want to invite you to have a conversation with me down shortly, where I can share a little bit more, understand where you are challenged, understand what are the results that you want to produce in your business. There might be sales, there might be culture, there might be customer advocacy, there might be people engagement. Whatever it is, the Thinking into Results program is the key to help you unlock your people's true potential. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much.